on? What do you want to talk about?
I don't know, maybe the economy?
Okay, can you name one macro indicator in the economy that's got better off since Trump got in office?
Okay, well, can I start with his first term, though?
Oh, love you. Thank you for the dollar. They were being serious. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, he actually does have some crazy takes on that. But I would look into that. He's like a right wing person. Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, so during Trump's first term, record low unemployment. That's just one macro
That's not true.
indicator.
And that was you're talking
Yeah,
about
it
his
is.
first term. That wasn't a record
Yeah, his
low.
first term.
There was 3.4%, 2 separate months under the Biden-Harris administration, plus there were 2 different points in U.S. history where it was well below 3.5%.
Before COVID, it was record low. It was.
No,
Well, you saying no
3.5% is
doesn't
not the
make it right.
lowest it's been in U.S. history. That's not true.
Well, who was the lowest ever then?
In 1953, it was actually 2.4%. In the 1960s, it was 3.4%, and then also under Biden's administration twice, it was 3.4%.
Well, record low doesn't mean I'm counting like 1870, bro. It means like
This isn't
past
1870,
20
genius.
years.
When
Yeah,
you say
but
record low, you're considering all time, right?
no.
That
Record
is
low
really
for like
ridiculous. If I said
this
that
era.
if I said that I set a record for the amount of points in a game and I didn't get over 100 points, right, in an NBA game, then I did not set a record because the most points for an NBA game was set by Wilt Chamberlain, okay? Even though it was in the past, even though it was around that same time period, right? That does not mean that that's not a record. Okay? It's still a record.
Yeah, but still, like Kobe Bryant had a record high because he scored
For
81
himself.
points in a game.
For his own
For
career.
his era.
Okay, but we wouldn't say record for that. We would say record for
Okay.
like considering the entirety of the points for any person who's ever scored in a game. So that's what we'd say. But you're being ridiculous. So there were prior points where it was lower. You're just wrong. He didn't even cause that trend in the first place. And since he's got in office, unemployment has increased. Now, what the question I asked you was name a single macro indicator that's got better off since Trump got back in office. And you gave me something from his first administration,
Stock
which
market.
didn't even indicate that was because of him. You said stock market. Well, real GD. Well, actually, if you want to look at Nasdaq, S&P 500, and Dow Jones, they're all growing at a lower rate in 2025 as compared to 2024.
Well, because there was a crash in like December, but that wasn't Trump's fault. So, that was just like a big tech sell-off because of like fears from AI or whatever that it was overvalued, but it's still gone up.
No, if you look at 2025 and 2026, you see it's growing at a lower rate than what it was in 2024.
If you look at gold is at like record highs right now. So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know where
because
you're talking.
that's because people don't have high confidence in the dollar, genius. That's actually because of inflation.
Yeah,
I don't know why you just cited that.
who had the
That's
most
actually evidence
inflation?
that our dollar isn't doing well and the markets aren't doing stable. That's evidence
But
that
Joe
there's an
Biden had high
impending
inflation.
crash.
Joe Biden had higher inflation than Trump.
Yeah, not because of him.
Yeah, so then why are you blaming? You have such a double
Because
standard.
Trump
It's
caused
ridiculous.
inflation. Trump imposed tariffs. Trump imposed the war with Iran. Both of those caused inflation. What did Biden do to cause inflation?
The Afghanistan withdrawal, for example.
That Trump set up? And that doesn't cause inflation? What are you
Wait,
talking
how did
about?
Trump set it up? How did
Trump set up the agreement with the
Joe Biden
Taliban
did
to
it.
give them 5,000 members of the Taliban back and to leave. Trump set up that agreement. Did you know that?
Hey, who did it happen under? Who withdrew? It was Joe Biden. Why don't
No,
you take some
Trump set up the
responsibility for it?
agreement to withdraw and set up the date for withdrawal under the Biden administration. If he thinks Biden was so sleepy and couldn't handle these things, why did he leave it to him?
Well, Biden was sleepy. He wasn't
So
even
why did
really
he
in
leave it to
charge.
Biden? Why did he leave it to the sleepy guy?
Because maybe we shouldn't have just withdrawn completely.
That was Trump who set up the withdrawal agreement.
So, I don't know. All I know is that Joe Biden still handled it really badly. So,
What did he do wrong? Like specifically?
well,
What
if
could
you
he
look
have
right
done
now,
differently? Actually, let me ask you this. What could he have done differently?
So I saw these videos of like people with planes, the planes going there, and he was letting like people were crowding the planes, and the planes were taking off while people
What
were
could
begging
Biden have
to
done
leave.
differently?
Yeah, he could have given more foreign aid, more assistance to help the transition go smoothly.
More foreign aid? Don't you guys complain that we
Like he
gave too much foreign
should have
aid?
given more
Plus, that's just not.
humanitarian.
No, that doesn't make any sense. You mean we could have stayed
Humanitarian
there
aid.
longer? Is that your argument?
No,
He extended the
humanitarian
agreement.
aid. Humanitarian aid.
Humanitarian aid.
Yeah, you're
Who's
against
more
that, right?
likely to give out humanitarian aid, Biden or Trump?
Well, I know you're not answering my question right now.
Who's more
I
likely to
gave you an
give out
example.
humanitarian aid, Biden or Trump?
Well, that's unrelated. The point is he didn't give enough during Afghanistan.
Yeah, you think
withdrawal.
Trump would have given more?
Yeah, I think he would have done a better job
Really?
to help the people. You know right now that women have no rights in Afghanistan, right?
Because Trump set up the agreement with the Taliban to leave.
Wait, so Biden withdrew though.
Yes,
So why did
Biden
he
followed
change it?
through with the agreement already established under
But then
Trump.
Biden's still responsible.
I don't think we should be involved with Afghanistan. I think that's actually evidence of our U.S. military intervention not being beneficial. And the humanitarian aid that we tried to leave, meaning specifically like the defense, like we tried to build up their ability in terms of a government to defend themselves against the Taliban, right? That didn't work. It failed immediately. So nothing would have changed regardless.
So you don't think we should help the people of Afghanistan?
I don't think we can militarily.
So you basically just want to give no humanitarian aid, just not go in there. Why? Like,
I mean,
what
I
are
would
you
I would
talking
prefer
about?
if we can give humanitarian aid if it's possible, but that's not military intervention. The humanitarian aid is different from military intervention.
I never said like military intervention. I said Biden handled it badly.
Okay, but you said he handled it badly because of humanitarian aid, which wouldn't have been
Yeah.
different if Trump were in office.
Well, you have no evidence for that.
We do.
No, the only evidence that's like a hypothetical scenario. Trump wasn't president.
So, I mean, we can point to the fact that he, under his administration, when he has been in office, has not passed these particular types of spending bills in terms of humanitarian aid. It has actually tried to undermine them. And historically, Democrats have been the ones who have advocated for that humanitarian aid to ensure that people have adequate access to things in other places. We can reference plenty of examples of humanitarian aid that the Democrats have advocated for that the Trump administration has been against.
Well, what are some examples?
Gaza, U.S. aid. We can point to Ukraine.
Wait, Trump is supportive of humanitarian aid to Gaza.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
He
is.
actually
You don't-
opposed it.
No, he opposes
If you'd like to
Hamas.
show me evidence of that, I'd love to see. He actually has opposed that. He was
okay,
okay with
evidence.
Israel limiting food from going through, so blockading their food. Not even just the lack of
because-
humanitarian aid, but also the fact that they were preventing food from going in.
Yeah, because Hamas is probably he was opposed to specific methods of humanitarian aid. He's not opposed to humanitarian aid in general.
Okay, can you give me any source that shows that he supported humanitarian aid?
Yeah. Obviously, he supports the people of Gaza. That's what
I'm waiting. Can you give me a source that shows that he supported that?
Yeah, look up CNN. Trump humanitarian aid Gaza.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Can you provide me the source?
Yeah, CNN.
What's the title?
Trump humanitarian aid in Gaza.
You're not looking at a title. Go f yourself. Go find an actual source.
Okay.
Alrighty, give them a second, everyone. If you want to support me as always, Venmo, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat as always, everybody. I can send you a political article talking about how he's privately urged world leaders to be against recognizing a Palestinian state, that he specifically allowed for
Okay,
Israel
I
to
found it, I
prevent
found it.
food from going in. So I'd love to see.
I found it. So he pledged $1.8 billion to the UN effort for foreign aid.
And what's
To
the title?
Gaza.
Alrighty, give him a second, everybody.
It's Al Jazeera. Trump pledges $1.8 billion. Just look that up.
And this is from Al Jazeera?
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's read. Donald Trump has held the first meeting of the Board of Peace. 9 member nations have pledged $7 billion to Reconstruction Fund for the Gaza Strip. It says the U.S. will make a contribution of $10 billion to the Board of Peace, although it didn't specify what the... So this is as of February 19th, 2026. So by the way, he opposed it prior to this point. And this was only set up by the Board of Peace.
So thank you for the concession that I found evidence. Great. Thank you for the concession.
Would you like to admit that he, prior to that point, did not agree with it?
Is it true he didn't agree with it, or he just didn't create the pledge?
It is true that he didn't agree with it. And he disagreed with it. And that he changed on it specifically.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And it
everyone
only
changes for the
happened
better.
as of recently in February.
Well, that's actually a few months ago, but I mean,
Yes,
not that.
that is recently.
Okay, but thanks for the concession. Sure, maybe prior he wasn't totally.
And wait, do you agree that that's
pledging.
different from humanitarian aid while things are happening? This is reconstruction funds after. Like humanitarian aid would be like while it's happening, right? I guess you could say it's humanitarian aid for reconstruction, but like I genuinely I think that it's not like while it was happening, right? Like,
Well, the problem is you can't really.
and also
pour
they
money
never
into
actually, let
reconstruction.
me clarify as well. They never specified it would be for Palestinians.
Except for the Gaza Strip.
No, they just said it was for Gaza, not for Palestinians.
What? Who lives in Gaza, bro?
I would argue that
Palestinians.
they actively ethnically cleansed a huge portion of the Palestinian population, and they could
Okay.
like Trump
There are
talked
still
about
millions
having
of.
Trump talked about literally annexing Gaza and then like doing it himself and doing real estate deals there. So, I mean, I think that they could possibly do that for like real estate development or investments within that respect, and that's what they're just trying to butt in terms of this.
They did not Gaza. There's still
Oh, they
millions of
absolutely did.
Palestinians.
And I said
Okay.
ethnically cleansed, by the way. Ethnically cleansed is forceful removal without the ability to come back. Trump literally explicitly talked about how he
There are
wanted
still
Palestinians to go to different
millions.
countries.
There's still millions of Palestinians in Gaza right now. So
But
you'd
you
have to
understand that
provide a
they
source.
that they have moved Palestinians out of Gaza. They have forcefully
Yeah,
removed them.
yeah.
Do you agree?
I understand they've
That's ethnic cleansing.
helped Palestinians escape because there's active
You understand
war.
that they've actively destroyed almost every single civilian piece of civilian infrastructure in Gaza. You can literally look at videos of Gaza. It's like completely decimated.
Yeah, I know. I've seen like pictures, but
Yeah, so like how can you say that that's specifically targeted strikes against Hamas?
because Gaza is extremely dense, so obviously
So just bomb
any
everything?
targeted
Bombing
strikes,
everything
any
is getting Hamas? It's all Hamas?
it's not bombing everything. It's just that inevitably, like in a dense area, you're going to have serious infrastructure collapse.
Wait, hold up. Oh, here we go. Al Jazeera posted another article saying, "Why is Trump's Gaza Board of Peace funding, why is Trump's Gaza Board of Peace facing a funding shortfall?"
Yeah, but you still haven't like conceded that you were wrong when you said Trump doesn't
you
care
want to
about
acknowledge
funding.
that?
Well, wait, but you haven't acknowledged first the original point, which is that Trump has been giving foreign humanitarian
No,
aid to
no,
Gaza.
no, they haven't. They haven't done that at all. And
No, he has pledged he
plan, the
does.
promise they had to do so is facing a funding shortfall.
Okay, you still haven't given the concession that he does care about Gaza, and he does.
No, he does not. You. No, I would never say that.
You don't think he cares about Gaza?
Hell no.
Okay, do you know Trump personally?
I don't need to know Trump personally to know that he doesn't give a shit. Did you know Hitler
Well, you
personally?
need evidence.
Did you know
need
Hitler
evidence.
personally?
Because, well, I have evidence showing that
Do
he
you- do
does
you know
care about
Hitler
reconstruction.
personally?
Yeah, the difference is I have evidence to show that Trump cares about Gaza. You don't have
You
evidence to show that he doesn't. Yes, I did. I just gave you it.
What's
the
the
fact that he
evidence?
pledged 1.8 billion to
That's
reconstruction.
again, I just gave you an article saying that there's a funding shortfall.
Yeah, where's this article? What is it?
The title is from Al Jazeera, the same thing that you just cited, saying why is Trump's Gaza Board of Peace facing a funding shortfall?
Funding shortfall doesn't mean he isn't planning it. It just means it's difficult. I mean, it's difficult to get funding for everything.
It's just another one of his empty promises.
You don't know that.
That's what
You
it
would have
seems.
to. You would have to give evidence.
And also, like wait.
That's an anecdote.
Can we at least acknowledge that they are providing less humanitarian aid than what Democrats are advocating for?
Well, I think
Can we agree with that?
I don't think the Democrats were getting
Can we
foreign
agree
aid
on
under
that?
Obama. Obama wasn't really giving foreign aid to Gaza, so I don't. I won't
yeah, that's
really.
not. Obama wasn't the candidate in office. It was the Biden-Harris administration. Genius. Holy.
Yeah, but Gaza was still suffering
Obama?
while Obama. Gaza was still suffering while Obama was president.
Yeah, but I'm asking you specifically, right? Like, who was advocating for more humanitarian aid? We're talking about after October 6th or October 7th, by the way.
Yeah, so October 7th was actually an attack on Israel, so obviously Trump is going to
course.
focus on. Trump is going to
But
focus
humanitarian
on
aid.
helping Israel.
Wait, so Democrats have awarded humanitarian aid for Gazans, right? After the.
Yeah, there has been plenty of humanitarian aid. The problem is it doesn't flow through because it's an active war zone.
All right. Well, is there anything else you wanna talk about? Because I feel like I've already addressed these points.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about white privilege. I don't know, maybe.
We can talk about our white privilege. Yeah. How we have it.
Yeah, you mean the topic that we spent like 3 trillion years
Yeah.
discussing with you already that you could.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. I came so prepared. Okay. Wow. So I do want
What
to.
happened to your camera?
What?
Shut up, Dylan.
No, I came so prepared to prove you completely wrong about your study that you cited.
Okay, disprove the veil of darkness.
So, first, I'd just like to ask you, what do you think the sample size was?
95 million traffic stops.
Do you want to bet? $100.
That's literally what it says on the Stanford.
I'll bet you
website.
$100. It's not more. The Veil of Darkness study doesn't have more than 1 million.
Yeah, I'm just confused because that's what it says on
But
the.
wait, yeah.
on the
So
website.
then,
Wait, what's
you
the
would
title
wanna
of the
take my
study?
bet, right?
What's
Like,
the title of
take my
the
bet.
study, Dylan?
Like, do you acknowledge that it says after analyzing 95 million traffic stop records?
Yeah. So just take
that
my
it
bet.
seems to be the case that
Here.
if you're
Can
gonna listen,
can I
if
lay
you're
out the bet?
offering, if you're offering to like bet me on this, what that means is that you went through the study that like clearly says at the top, 95 million traffic stop records, and then somewhere within their it breaks down that maybe not all of those are direct traffic stops, and there's other records associated with each individual traffic stop. Like if that's something that you want to bet me on, like you probably found something in the study to suggest otherwise. So I won't take you up on the bet.
So you're not going to stand by your word, basically.
Well, no, I'm gonna stand by the fact that I'll show you. Like literally at the top of the screen, it says 95 million traffic stop records on the Veil of Darkness study on the Stanford Report website. But I would assume that like you went through it and you found something else.
Well, yeah, I'll bet you it isn't the sample size for the Veil of Dark. First of all, Veil of Darkness is one part of the bigger study.
Let's make this bet specific. Do you believe that they did not analyze 95 million traffic stop records?
No, analyze is different from sample size.
What? If they're analyzing 95 million traffic stop records, is that not the sample size that they're analyzing?
Yeah, so the study, the 95 million doesn't actually refer to the Veil of Darkness specifically. It's more of a broad, like, analyzation of, it proves that black people are, on average, 20% more likely to be pulled over. But the Veil of Darkness, that is what is
no,
completely
we're
different.
asking about the sample size. What is the sample size?
Well, I'm not going to tell you because I want to bet.
Well, we're curious. We're asking you if you don't want to answer the question. Because
Well,
we
I'll
need to
bet
clarify
you-
what you're referencing. Because like when we're referencing the sample size, it seems like we're referencing the 95 million traffic stop records. So I'm asking, what are you referencing when you're referencing the sample size?
Are you
I'm
talking about? Are you
I'm
talking
referencing-
about like the further analysis that the Stanford team did on the Veil of Darkness with the 113 traffic stops?
Yeah, so I'll tell you my source, basically. I'm referencing the Stanford EDU Veil of Darkness study, right?
So
Can we agree on that?
So I think that what you're referencing here is when the Stanford team repeated the analysis using significantly more variables.
Yeah.
On 113 of the
Yeah, oh,
113,000
there we go, there we
of
go.
the 95
There we
million
go.
stops, right? Is that what
Thanks
you're
for the
referring to?
concession. Thanks for the concession. 113,000.
I don't. No one
Wait,
conceded
I have a
here.
question.
It's
Is
gonna be-
113,000 a high enough sample size in order to come up with a statistically significant determination?
By the way, it literally says that. The next line after it talks about the 113,000 traffic stops says that this data set provided a statistically valid sample
Okay.
with the two born variables. Also, I'd like to make it known that this isn't the Veil of Darkness study. This is going to be a further analysis of.
No, this is the Veil of Darkness. That's the Veil of Darkness study.
It's further analysis on the data
No,
set
no,
that's
no.
already analyzed. It
If you
literally
look
says
up-
that. It literally
Okay.
says the Stanford team decided to repeat the analysis using a much larger data set. than
No,
what
it
they
said it
done.
had to scrap its data to make it accurate, okay, to reflect the fact that, in the summertime, 8 p.m. isn't necessarily dark outside. So they had to scrap all that data, basically, and
Right.
they pointed to a
They
specific
repeated
time.
the analysis.
No, they scrapped data. They already had the data. They scrapped the data, basically.
I mean, when I read that they repeated the analysis, what I see is they just simply accounted for more variables than the first analysis of 95 million.
So I'll tell you
but
my
because
source.
They had to account for more variables in the first analysis of the 95 million. They just took the smallest statistically valid sample size they could at 113,000 traffic stops. And I don't find any issue with that.
Okay, sure. I mean, 113,000. Yeah, that's not a small sample size,
It's a
but
huge
it's definitely
sample size.
different. Definitely different from the 95 million you cited, because you probably weren't fully aware. I'm
The
guessing you
study
weren't aware.
conducted on 113,000 traffic stops yielded the same conclusion as the analysis conducted on the 95 million.
Dean,
Okay,
watch
but-
this. Watch this. So, what criticism,
Let me speak.
Dylan, do you have of the study in of itself, other than just maybe like a misunderstanding of like one of the statistics that they took from the analysis? So, can
Yeah,
you just
perfect. So-
can you tell me what do you actually disagree with in terms of the method of the study?
So before I'm gonna tell you the results of the study right now.
No, I want you to
because-
tell me the issues that you have with
No.
the.
Can I tell you? I don't have an issue with the sample size or anything.
You don't have an
I-
issue with any of
it's-
them.
The study, in fact, proves that there isn't really a causation, or it doesn't prove racial bias. So it just proves correlation, essentially.
Wait.
But can you let me
Well,
speak?
it
Can you
proves
let me speak?
correlation while taking into account all these factors, right?
So can you let me speak? And I'm going to.
I want you to answer my question.
address your points.
Can you
I'm going
respond?
to. I'm going to. But first, we need to discuss the actual results of the study. Okay. Is that fair, Dean and Parker?
I would like you to answer my question, and then we can talk about whatever results you'd like to address. What are your issues with the methodology of the study? Or are you saying you don't have issues with the methodology of the study, and you're just saying you have issues with the results?
The results actually prove that it's more of a correlation, so I would like to start with the results.
Can I clarify first? Do you agree that you don't dispute the methodology?
I dispute some aspects, but
what aspects of the methodology do you dispute?
The fact that at nighttime and during the day, most and the vast majority of police stops, you cannot tell the race of the driver in the car. You can just notice that when you're driving. Okay, you have to be very close to the person or directly facing them to tell their race.
Directly facing them, like what you would be when you're chasing after them with your lights on as a police officer.
No, you would be behind them. You would be behind them when you're chasing them.
And you can see them through the context of the driver door.
No, when
you
you're
can see
behind
them
a car,
on the context. So I guess my question would be can you tell me what would be different about lighttime and nighttime that would cause this difference?
So I'm telling you the fact that nighttime doesn't mean
you could use rear view. So to see the race of the driver of a car, when you're in the car behind them, you could use the rear view mirror in their car, because the rear view mirror is designed to make contact.
Wait, you can't see the rear view mirror when you're behind the driver. Very brief. You don't know what you're talking about. Have you ever driven behind a car?
Yes.
I mean, yes,
you can.
The rear view mirror in a vehicle is designed to make contact between the eyes of a driver of a vehicle and what is immediately behind that vehicle. So if you're immediately behind that vehicle, the reflection will show you the eyes of the driver. Like that's the design function of the rear view mirror, just in reverse.
Yeah, Dylan.
So
are you okay, bro?
Objectively, you guys keep interrupting. By the way, I have all this evidence that I've laid out. But we'll start with the sure. Yeah, so you cannot see the race of someone in the car in front of you necessarily, unless you were like directly next to them, basically looking in their window. It's
you're acting like we haven't drove on the road.
No, I have actually.
So then why are you telling us like that? Like that's true when it's not?
No, this is what you'll find if you look up any videos of someone driving.
No, what do you mean look up videos of this? I drive on the road every day, dude. What the are you talking about?
Yeah, and
do you drive? How old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20.
I do drive.
And you drive?
Yes.
Then I'm sorry. How the do you drive consistently? Do you drive in like an area where there aren't many other cars driving?
Can you tell the race of someone
yes.
in front of you?
Yes.
When you're like in line?
You
really?
Wait,
I don't think
yes, you can. You can see their mirror, and also you can be from the side. You can see they have side mirrors. You can see inside mirrors as well.
No, their seat blocks and the side mirrors are not at the right angle.
You're being ridiculous.
I mean, it's not even.
So by the way, he doesn't dispute any of the. He just denies basic reality.
No, I do.
So what aspects of the because this isn't an aspect of the you're disputing.
Oh, perfect. Another aspect is at nighttime, cops are policing differently. So they're more looking for DUIs, whereas in the daytime they're looking for speeding or traffic violations.
How does that lead to them? How does that lead to them specifically pulling over people who are black at a proportionally higher rate in the daytime?
Because statistically you could. It's possible that white people have higher DUI rates.
Can you give me a source for that?
Would explain why they're pulled over. Yeah. So this is a.
It's possible. So by the way, not even something that he's looked into. It's something he's just claiming is possible.
You keep interrupting me.
I'm asking you, do you have any evidence for that?
You really keep interrupting me, okay? Can you...
You have about 10 seconds to give me... Dude, holy shit. Can you stop acting like a little snowflake and respond? Genuinely either respond or get the off my stream. Like, I'm not wasting my time any longer.
I'm just going to tell you...
You're wasting my time.
By the way...
Answer my damn questions.
You're not letting me speak. So if you...
Then answer the question.
Yeah. So, black people were pulled over at a 5 to 10% higher rate at nighttime compared to daytime. That's not really...
You're changing the number. Wasn't it 20% earlier?
No, I have a source for this, by the way.
You're providing a different analysis, not the one that we were just looking at, right?
No. openpolicing.stanford.edu/news-release. You can look that up, and you will see that it was 5 to 10% higher during the night.
But is this a different study than the one we were just looking at?
No, it's Stanford, actually.
Is it a different study?
No, it isn't.
Okay, it's the same study?
Oh, so he's sourcing two different findings. The first finding of the study that he's sourcing here is
it's 5 to 10% higher at night.
The fact that they're 20% more likely to get pulled over during the day, Yet only
Yeah, that's
5
for
to
the
10%
100 million number.
We're likely to get pulled over at the night. Is that what you're saying?
No, okay. For the 100 million number, overall, black people are pulled over, I think, at around 20% higher rate than white people. But in the Veil of Darkness study with the 113,000, okay, they found that compared to night and daytimes.
Wait,
Well,
yeah. Now I tried to give you like a olive branch there.
Can you let me speak? Can you let me
But now
speak?
you really aren't making much sense because earlier you said the study concludes that they are 20% more likely to get pulled over during the day than at night. Now you're saying that the 20% figure just comes from
No, the 20%
overall
doesn't refer to the Veil of Darkness. It refers
pulled
to
over.
overall. The Veil of Darkness, it proves that black people are 5 to 10% more likely to be pulled over during the day than during a night, basically.
Okay,
And
so
I've a
so do you think that it's something true about black people that causes this to happen, or is it something
you think
true based
do you
upon
think-
how the agents or officers are responding to the scenario?
Do you think a 5 to 10% higher rate during the daytime than at night is significant, considering it's only 113,000 for the sample size? Do you think 5 to 10% is enough to prove racial bias?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Great. I think most people would probably disagree with you, but
Okay, if you agree
that
with me,
alone-
type 3 in the comment section.
yeah. So no, it's some people obviously haven't listened to my source. It's 5 to 10%. openpolicing.stanford.edu/news
No, tell me the title.
hyphen
Tell me the
release.
title.
I'm telling you the link.
No, I need
that
the
you should
title. I
type
don't want to
in.
look up the link. I want to know the title.
This is the link because it's in a website.
me the
It's a
title,
specific-
dude.
Bro, I told you the link. Is that not good enough for you?
Can you tell me the title? Push the Galaxy. If not, I'm just going to kick you because you're wasting my time. Okay? You
Okay.
literally have
Let
10
me-
seconds
I have
to
to
tell me
open
the
the link.
title. The large text at the
Yeah.
top of the screen.
So now you're running. Now you're running away. But here I'm opening the link so I can see the title. Yeah. Don't run away though, because you're
Push the
scared.
Galaxy. I'm waiting. I just want you to know the title.
Yeah. So the title is news release. That's literally the title. It comes from openpolicing.stanford.edu/news.
Are you serious? It just says news release, really?
Yes. It says March 13th, 2019.
March 13th, 2019. Stanford news release.
Yeah. Overall, the data showed about a 5 to 10% drop in the share of drivers stopped at night who are black. I think Dean said it was like 100% drop or like 50% drop or something. So a bit inaccurate, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a different analysis from
Let me see.
literally
What
5
are you
years
looking at?
prior.
What are you looking at?
What was
This is from
the study that you're
Stanford.
referencing? What year is it from?
The date says this news release March 13th, 2019. This is referencing a study of nearly 100 million traffic stops across the United States.
It's a different study, so I'm just gonna clarify.
No, it's from Stanford.
But it's a different
no.
study from Stanford.
Oh, what?
Is it a different study from Stanford, or is it the same
No,
study?
it refers to the Veil of Darkness.
What's that?
It's the Veil of Darkness study.
Okay, well, you said that it is, but it doesn't even say that within this.
Yeah, it says overall the data showed about a 5 to 10% drop in the
Yeah,
share
but that
of
doesn't
drivers
mean it's
stopped at
referencing
night. Stopped at
specifically what
night.
we're talking about.
Stopped at night. Yes, it does, because
It
it's
also said
comparing
that the
night and
study
day.
found that once stopped black drivers were searched 1.5 to 2 times as often as white drivers.
So are you like denying the fact that
And it
this
said that they
is
found
by
drugs,
Stanford?
guns, or other illegal contraband on black drivers less often than on white drivers, pointing to a double standard in search decisions. So it seems like the own study that you're referencing does conclude that there are biases based upon
Are
this.
you even looking at it? I don't even know if you're looking at it. Like,
I'm looking at it right now.
I
It
think you're
says
being
the
so
analysis
dishonest.
released by
So
today by the
dishonest.
Stanford Open Policing Project found that the same basic pattern across all stops in aggregate. Overall, the data showed 5 to 10% drop in the share of drivers who stopped at night who are black. Right. The study also found that once stopped, black
Yeah.
drivers were searched 1.5 to 2 times as much as white drivers.
Okay, yeah,
Yet
that's
officers
the
found
search.
drugs,
That's
guns,
different.
and other illegal contraband on black drivers less often than
Okay.
white drivers, pointing to
Okay,
double
so-
standard in search decisions.
So again, we're not
Looking
talking
at
about
looking at
searching.
millions of traffic stops across dozens of jurisdictions, we found evidence of widespread racial bias in who is stopped and searched by the
So
police.
should we have Dean fact check? I mean, I think
This
what
is from
the study
this is from the
proves
news
is
release that
I'm
you
right.
cited. From the news
Yeah, I
release
know.
that you cited, says looking at millions of traffic stops across dozens of jurisdictions, we found evidence of widespread racial bias in those who were stopped and searched by police.
Yeah, no, it's a correlation, not causation.
Wait, that's
Again,
why
the-
I'm literally citing what you just cited.
Yeah, I know, but
Wait,
what
so
it says,
you just cited
what
this,
that
so
is.
then you accept this to be true, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
but
then
it's
if you accept
correlation,
this
not
to be true,
causation.
then you accept the determination that it says looking into millions of traffic stops across dozens of jurisdictions, we found evidence of widespread racial bias in who is stopped and searched by police. Thank you for the concession.
It's it's a correlation, and if
Oh,
I
wait,
don't
but that's
even
that's
think you
the
realize.
conclusion from what you just cited.
Oh my god.
It's the
Bro,
conclusion from the
Villa-
news release you just cited.
Oh my god. Oh my god, you keep interrupting me. Oh my god.
So tell me.
So the Veil of Darkness was what was going to prove causation, basically. But we found that the Veil of Darkness study only showed a 5 to 10% drop in the share of drivers stops that night. Only 5 to 10%. You were
So
like
I like
saying
how
it was
he's citing
50%.
that, and he'll only take
You were
that.
like-
But literally 2 paragraphs below, it says,
No.
looking at millions of traffic stops across dozens of jurisdictions, we found evidence of widespread racial bias in who is stopped and
Yeah.
searched by police.
Yeah, so that's a correlation again. And the Veil of Darkness.
Okay,
I
so
hope
now,
you,
so
maybe
by the
Dean
way,
can
the studies are supposed to
speak.
take
I
into
don't know.
account all the biases that can come from just a correlation. That's why we're running a study. This is a
Oh my
significant
God.
determination.
Do you
So you understand the
what a
difference between
causation is?
statistically significant, right, and just a correlation, right?
Do you understand what a causation? Can we maybe have Dean, because you're just not even.
Oh, you're
realizing
getting
that
cooked
it
and you just
wasn't
don't understand
95 million.
statistics. Dylan, have you taken a statistics course before, by the way?
Statistics course. That isn't really the normal math program we follow. We take like algebra, calculus,
Yeah, I took
stuff like that.
statistics in high school. I took it in college. I took it with economics because I got an economics degree in college. And, like, if you took a basic stats course, maybe you'd understand this.
Yeah, maybe
But
you understand.
I can understand that
Okay.
given that you haven't taken a stats course, that you might not understand this. There is a distinction between a correlation, right, and a statistical significance, because the statistical significance is supposed to demonstrate that it's accurately representative of the real world, of the true value.
By the way, when analysts manipulate a chaotic, massive database
Hey,
of millions
Parker, I'm
of
gonna go ahead and
events,
start my own live. I appreciate you for
For
letting me
sure,
out.
for sure, Dean.
they can easily find a 5 to 10% correlation to support a biased narrative, while ignoring dozens
Hey
of
Dylan,
chaotic
hey
human
Dylan,
variables.
hey Dylan, go take a stats course. Go read into stats more. Actually, go criticize the of the study next time if you want to criticize it. You came
Hey.
back literally like a day or two later
No,
with
I
absolutely
literally
nothing.
proved
You failed,
I proved
Dylan,
myself.
and goodbye.
No, I didn't. Oh,
All right. Thank you everyone for coming through. I'm gonna say I'm gonna answer questions, chill with people for a few minutes till Dean hops on and whatnot. Ellie, thank you so much. I really appreciate the Lewis the Cardinal. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That guy got dog walked. What can I say? If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everyone. I'd really appreciate